because I feel like it's a very niche field. But I'm gonna jump right into because of previous conversations that we've had.
Once COVID hit, I gotta let go. It's the front desk. They no longer needed front desk. I knew I wanted to do this, and I just implemented everything she taught me. It's definitely possible, but you have to want it.
Yes, the therapist needs a therapist.
Yeah. All right, y'all, we're going to go ahead and get this thing started. Today's guest, I'm going to allow her to do her own intro. Y'all know I don't like to do other people's intro. They can do it better than me. Minyuiet, a.k.a. Minnie. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much for introducing me. I am Minyuiet, the busy spa boss here in Memphis, Tennessee. And I have been doing this for 7 years.
7 years, that's a good time. That's a good amount of time, considering especially business owners that are not franchises, I believe, have a hard time staying relevant. Relevancy is a huge thing, I feel, in business owning. So, I wanna go ahead, and typically I would go here and be like, where are you from? Yada yada yada. And we're gonna get there, right?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna jump right into because of previous conversations that we've had. What is something that you feel in your field, and which is a massage therapist? Let's get the term right. Massage therapist, licensed massage therapist. What do you think is the biggest thing people get wrong about massage therapists? I just want to throw that out there.
I feel like, for one, they think we're doctors.
Okay.
2, they think that we give sexual favors. And that it's easy work.
Easy. What do you think when they think it's easy? What, you just massage people going about your way and then document it?
Yes.
What? So give me insight on what your typical day is. Yes.
Okay. So I have an assistant. So my day is kind of it flows easy for me. So she comes in and she turns everything on, get everything prepared for me to do the work. So once I come in, I'm able to pretty much zen myself out. I meditate, I get my mind right, and I get ready for the first client. And there's not much for me to do. Now, in the beginning of my practice, I wore all the hats.
Okay.
So it was a lot of work, and it's still a lot of work. Doing body work is a lot of work on my body.
And that's why you get massages. You said
Oh,
also.
yes.
That's your quintessential. What is it? The dentist needs a dentist, or
Yes,
the
the
doctor
therapist
needs
needs
a
a
doctor.
therapist.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's exactly what that is. So that leads my question that I ask everybody, right, is what made you want to do massage therapy in the first place?
So I originally went to school to be a esthetician, a licensed esthetician. I fell in love with the massage part of the facial. So I was like, as soon as I finish this, I'm going straight to massage therapy school. Like, it was no question about it. Like, as soon as I graduated and I took that state board test for my esthetician license, I went straight in to enroll in massage therapy school.
Okay. So what about, because I feel like it's a very niche field. I don't feel your lay person can just wake up one day and be like, you know what, this is what I want to do for a career. I want to be a massage therapist. So I feel like it's a certain, I don't want to say mindset, but there's a certain thing that leads you to it. So when you were doing the facial massages, what about that made you say, you know what, Minnie, I'm about to go ahead and knock this license out?
People loved my pressure.
Okay.
So I was like, if I can really learn how to massage the body, I think I'd be really good at it. And it turned out I was really good at it.
Good deal. So how many clients did it take you to realize or get enough feedback to be like, man, I'm actually...
My instructor was the first one to tell me, and she was like, Minnie, your hands, amazing.
Oh,
amazing.
yeah.
And I was the only student she told that to. So I was like, And then I started doing facials and in clinicals.
Okay.
And when they would come in and get the facial, of course they love the facial part, but the massage part, I would do the hands, the arms, and the neck and the shoulders. And they fell in love with it. So I was like, well, I'm going to fall in love with massage therapy too.
And then that was the thing, just
Yep.
right there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So also, right? I wanted to, this is it's another. It's kind of like a do I usually ask. Where did it lead you there? And then the second one is, when did you realize this went from just something you did versus I can really make a career out of this?
Mm. Okay, first question was what led me there?
Exactly what led you there, and then where was that click that was like, I can really do something with this.
So, what led me there was I had a situation happen in my life where I had to immediately move out of Memphis. So I needed to find something. I had my degree in psychology. Hard to find a job in that. You have to have a background already in that. They want you to have experience in that already for the job. So I was like, I gotta pivot. I gotta figure out I need to make money today. Even though me going into trade school didn't make me money today, it still was like, oh, a trade. As soon as I finish the trade, I can start working. So that's what led me into going to esthetician a trade school.
Okay. Okay.
Having to figure out life like immediately. And trade school is something that is good to get into if you don't know what you want to do, and it's hands on. It's something that you can learn and find out if it's something that you really like. So that's what led me there. And then the what clicked for me was to make it a career. um I worked in a beauty salon prior to me going to esthetician school. And I was like, oh, I can do this too. Like the hairstylists and the nail techs, they were making pretty good money. I was like, I want to do this too, but I don't want to do hair and I don't want to do no nails. So what else can I do? And the original plan was to go to aesthetic school here in Memphis, but I got uprooted and had to leave and had to pivot and find a school up there in California.
Okay, okay, okay. And I don't want to leave that out, right? And that was just me. Your where you started. I remember you told me you worked as a, what was it, a front
Front desk receptionist.
front desk reception, right? I want to kind of walk the people because I know, but I want to walk people through before we continue the question, right? I want you to tell everybody where you started and how you ended up with your own brick and mortar, and then I want to build off of that.
Okay. So I was a front desk receptionist for Forever Young Beauty Bar. Um, at the time, they were commission based. So I worked full time for them doing the front desk, and it was an experience. And I loved the experience of the salon. It was beautiful. The women loved coming in there. They loved when I would give them water, wine, treat them nice. And I was like, I love this. Like, but I never saw me having my own though. I just wanted to add value to Forever Young Beauty Bar. So I worked for them for about 10 years. And then once she said, well, we're going to leave this strip and I'm going to go get my own building, I was like, oh, this is my chance to become their esthetician. And that's what led me to get into being a service provider and leaving and going to get that license and then coming back and bringing it back to Memphis. And I came right back to Forever Young Beauty Bar as their front desk receptionist. And then I was in school as I was their front desk receptionist as for massage therapy. Then COVID hit. Once COVID hit, I got let go as the front desk. They no longer needed front desk. So I was like, what am I going to do? I still want to do this. I still want to be an esthetician. I still want to be a massage therapist. So I decided to rent a suite out of Forever Young Beauty Bar. So I was still their esthetician. I was still their massage therapist, but I was independent because now we're no longer commission based. So I'm an independent service provider. I got a room in there, a suite in there. I started expanding after a year after getting mentorship from the Six Figure Spot Chick. And I needed to add more massage therapists under me to help me. So I rented another room and we outgrew that space. So we had to leave that building and go find another building because I outgrew everything that was there. It was no more growth for me there.
So what would you say? Because it seemed like you scaled that fairly quickly, right? or even if it's not quickly, because all good things take time. But it seemed like you just kept scaling and scaling, right? Do you? I mean, obviously your path isn't someone else's, but what would you say the conduit? Nice plug. What would you say the conduit was from you starting where you did, or when you met with Six Figure Spa Chick, or that's her name, right? And to where you start outgrowing sweets. Like, what was the conduit there?
Ooh. So I took on her mentorship maybe 4 months into my practice. So that was in 2019. She told me I didn't have no business because I wasn't making no money. And I wasn't. I was probably making like $850 a month. I was 4 months in though.
Okay,
I was
okay.
new to this. So I was like, you know what? Okay. She lit a fire up under my feet. Immediately I started taking classes from her. I showed up in her mentorship programs. I ended up going to the All Black Spa Expo, and it just took off from there. I learned how to scale my business very fast. I paid attention. I knew I wanted to do this, and I just implemented everything she taught me.
Look, I'm here to tell you right now. I am, because I told you I'm a very analytical person, right? And with that, a lot of times I will overanalyze things, which has made me a huge skeptic. Like I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So when you told me about the Six Figure Spa Chick, the first thing I thought about was she's like, I have this program, I can help mentor you, whatever
Yeah.
else. I would hear something like that and be like, no, you don't have a model that you can plug me in, and you know what I'm saying, and make me move. And it's like as soon as you, because I remember you told me we were speaking, when you told me about that, I was like, I mean, obviously I have hindsight because I know you're successful in your field, but had I not, and I just heard that, I would have been like, I'm not paying somebody no program or whatever. But go to find out, you took her class, and then things just started. So with that, right? Because I think it's more than just one person just figuring it out, right? Would you say that there is a pipeline of success in this field? So if somebody came up and was like, Minnie, I want to be a massage therapist, you can confidently say, yes, you can do it and you can be successful, or yes, you can do it. Like, I mean, where does it go from? How would you? What would you
Yes,
say?
you can do it, and yes, you can be successful. It is absolutely obtainable. Like, you have to want it though. It has to be in you and not on you. You can't buy into a mentorship. Everyone needs a mentor. Let's start there. You definitely need a mentor. You just can't hop into something and expect it to work. That's why we go to school. That's why we have universities. That's why we got professors. Like, those are your mentors to help you grow and be the best doctor or nurse or therapist or whatever you're in school for. Um, but it's definitely possible, but you have to want it. You have to, you I can teach you all day the blueprint, but you have to implement everything I taught you, and you have to be consistent with it. Implementing and not being consistent is not going to get you anywhere.
And you have the experience to see that directly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I worked 7 days a week. I'm not telling everybody to do that, but in the beginning of my practice, I worked 7 days a week. I took the classes. I learned different things about business, not only her mentorship, but I was taking other mentorship classes too. So I learned the business side, and I was still taking classes on the skill because we have to take 26 hours every 2 years to renew our license. So I was staying consistent on top of everything, and I still do. It never stops. I'm always a student. I'm always learning something to make sure that I'm continuing, I'm growing.
And you believe that, right? And I'm
Yeah.
not saying you're just saying it for the sake of
Right.
saying it,
No,
but
I
you truly
believe
believe
that.
to stay a student.
Yes, you have to stay a student. You don't know everything. You're not always going, you cannot stay in that one spot. You're not going to grow.
I think that, and that's the complacency a lot of people speak of. They may get comfortable on the spot, and then comfort breeds complacency.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I will ask this, right, because I'm also, remember, I'm the skeptic,
Yeah.
right? So to the person who says, Minnie, I hear you that you had the resources to pay for this mentorship program or whatever. I don't have the money like that. What am I supposed to do?
So I didn't have the money either. I was broke down and busted out of school. I was broke down and busted out of school. And I would just say, save your money. Save your money for that class. Save that money for that mentor. You're gonna make a way to do it. If you want it, you're gonna make a way to do it, because you go to work, you get paid an hourly pay, and you save for that trip, you save for that car, you save for them shoes. But why not invest in your future? Why not invest in your tomorrow? Why not invest in yourself so that way you can get out of that spot that you're stuck in? You want to be broke forever?
See, but a lot, and you would think money alone would motivate people, right? I think it's a great proponent of motivation.
Yeah.
Trust me,
Yeah.
money brings comfort, happiness. Anybody that says otherwise, I'm telling. Money brings all of that. I'm a believer. I know it's not everything,
Right.
but it's a huge proponent.
Yeah.
But I think people will use it as an excuse, and I think if someone said, Mario, what would you do? I mean, I think networking is a great tool, and especially in some, like there's a network of massage therapists.
Oh,
and
yeah.
what does that mean? That means there are certain people you can be connecting with, and that you can be learning from, and you can
Yeah.
get a mentor for free.
You can.
Now here's the
Yes,
thing,
you
right?
can.
There are limits, and we spoke
Yes,
about that.
it is.
Because you were like, I'm willing to help, but there's a certain point, and I want you to finish it, that you told me. You're like, I'm willing to help you, but there's a certain point, and what did you say after
You
that?
have to be a licensed professional for me to help you. Like, if you were telling me, Minnie, I want to go to massage therapy school. Yes, go. Please go. And I'll mentor you while you're a student in massage therapy school. And once you get licensed, I have no problem with teaching you everything I know. And I will not gatekeep. There's no point of gatekeeping anything I know. But if you're not a licensed professional, I cannot go over and beyond on the education to teach you, because you're not licensed.
And there's liability.
And there's liability to that. Yes. By law, we cannot teach you a skill if you don't have that license behind you.
And that's messing with your money.
And that's messing with my money.
And
Yeah.
everything you do,
And my
right?
license. Yeah. That's first. My license.